Welcome to Dude Foodie. We are going to do something very, hopefully quick and simple today. Have not tried it. It was a suggestion to make cloud bread. Now, when I went out to the internet and did some research on cloud bread, I had missed the whole cloud bread craze, and I'm not even sure if there's one still going on. But there's some weird concoctions out there or very colorful. I'm actually looking for a replacement for grain-based breads. I think this recipe we have will, if it works out, will be very helpful to people who are trying to avoid grains and carbs. There might be one carb in this whole thing. So very keto friendly, very diet friendly, simple ingredients.
Give me that sunshine, sunshine. Give me them good times, good times. Nothing but good vibes, good vibes. Give me that sunshine, sunshine.
We have 4 egg whites in the bowl. We have 4 egg yolks here. We have a half a teaspoon cream of tartar, which will go into the egg whites. And we have 2 ounces of cream cheese. That's the entirety of the recipe, other than some herbs, which we'll add at the end. So here we go. We are going to whip the egg whites into a very stiff peak. Those will form sort of the body of the bread. The cream of tartar is a stabilizer, I'm told. Stabilizers are good for cooking. So let's get these whipping.
I'm spending money like I just got paid. $100 bills, tell them keep the change. Come on. If pop a bottle about to make it rain, let me give you some.
So we have beat these until you have very stiff peaks on the egg whites. I'm always fascinated by how mankind discovered food things. I mean, I don't know when the electric hand mixer was. I don't know when the electric hand mixer was invented, but I can't imagine being so angry one day that you just started beating egg whites with a whisk, like in probably 1600 or something. And I don't even know what recipes back then they would have separated the yolks from the whites, but because this thing took about 3 minutes on high to get what we need. So whoever was the first one to work out their anger issues, thank you. The culinary world salutes you. So now I'm going to empty out the egg whites into a separate bowl because we're going to use the stand mixer for the next part of this. And I try to get it out kind of carefully because you want these to maintain their form, their rigidity. I'm trying to avoid every word that will keep this show from becoming a drinking game. So egg whites there. Now I have 2 ounces of cream cheese. In the back, the oven is heating up to 325, and we have a convection oven. You don't need it to be on convection to do it. You'll just shorten the cooking times. But to this, I'm going to add 2 ounces of cream cheese. And I'm going to put the paddle on the mixer and just start working it out to sort of a very smooth consistency. And we will slowly add the egg yolks one at a time if I can do it right. For this to work out, for this to really cook up the way we want, you want that cream cheese and egg yolks to be very smooth, very well incorporated, or the cloud bread just doesn't set up right. So back in. Okay. As we're getting close here to optimum smoothness, I will add some seasonings as well. And you want to be a little bit careful with how much you add. because this isn't a big batch, so it can overpower it pretty quick. What I do is I take just a pinch between the thumb and the forefinger of rosemary, and I give it a good grate to release those wonderful oils and smells, and in that goes. And then this is a salt, pepper, garlic mixture. I forget which video I put this mixture together, of 7 parts salt, 2 parts garlic, and 2 parts pepper. And again, I take just a pinch of this, okay, for the aroma. Cattle dog, you might hear in the background, is excited when guests come over. I don't know if we got guests coming over. And then we go back to get this smooth. So visually, when it looks like you don't have any bits of cream cheese left in there, I will just give it a mix with the spatula, make sure I don't see any clumps of cream cheese hiding out, make sure it's well mixed in and incorporated. And then we are ready to mix. Now, you're gonna wanna be gentle with the egg whites. And then we're gonna be folding this till it's well incorporated, doing our best to not break down. I call it the meringue. I don't know if it's technically meringue when it's just egg whites, but that's kind of what I call it. But the egg whites, we're gonna fold to try to get this well mixed, well incorporated without deflating our airiness. The egg whites, the airiness of the egg whites will provide a lot of the structure for this cloud bread. Will give it its form as it bakes in the oven. Now, like I said, we have the oven heating to 325. We do have a convection setting. At that setting, it'll cook for about 12 to 16 minutes. And so you want to be checking it about the 13 minute mark or so. And then it should be nice and brown on the bread without any sort of jiggly, without any jiggly.
The key doesn't work. You gotta jiggle it a little bit. I jiggled it.
Mix in the middle. So I think that's about where I want that. And now I just take some wax paper, a 1/4 cup measuring, and we start scooping it on. Yep, and that's looking right. See how it kind of sets up in a little circle like there. And I don't work too hard to even it out. I'm taking these 1/4 cup scoops, and however it decides to lay on the baking sheet is good by me. There we go. So we have enough to make a couple batches of this, but this will be enough to check it out. I'm gonna put it in the oven. We're gonna let it bake, and then we'll be back to see how they turned out. And we're back. 15 minutes at 325 with the convection setting. If you do not have a convection setting on your oven, you're gonna add 8 to 10 minutes is what the research tells me. I've never baked these before. First time, not perfect shapes, but I was kind of just hurrying up. It doesn't matter to me whether or not these are perfect. I am just looking for a good low carb bread substitute. If you have gluten issues, if you're on a keto diet, if you're just grains give you problems in general, this is hopefully a good alternative. I have not tasted it yet. So first thing I do when tasting it, I'm just gonna grab and give it a taste like that. You know, it's so surprising. This is really surprising to me. Thank you to Savage Mermaid for suggesting cloud bread. The consistency is bread-like. I mean, this one's kind of thin. There is clearly an egg taste because we have both egg whites and the egg yolks. But with the garlic and the rosemary, the cream cheese, this is surprisingly good as a bread substitute. So here's what we're gonna do. Well, actually, I'm gonna try it with butter now. Got to give it the full keto, right? Can do the butter, add the fat. This is a winner. A great, what a great low carb alternative for bread. Over the next couple days, we're gonna do just some quick vids testing out how this holds up with different recipes. I'm gonna try making a grilled cheese sandwich with it. I'm gonna try making little mini pizzas. Those could be the right shapes for that. I'm gonna try breakfast sandwich, maybe like a ham, egg and cheese breakfast sandwich. And then we'll try a Philly cheesesteak. If those recipes work out, we'll post them as quick little vids on things you can do with cloud bread. Last test before we call it a night. Butter, fresh rhubarb jam. If it passes this test, we are good to go. Now, it is a little, the egg whites do make it a little delicate, but these are just right out of the oven too, so they're quite, they're still a little warm. I don't know what this will be like in the morning either, so we'll report back on that as well. A little taste of the rhubarb. This works. I'm very pleased. I'm very happy. I was doubtful that this would be a decent bread substitute. So thanks for hanging out. We're gonna make some quick vids to see how this stuff holds up in other recipes. So God bless.